The cat is accessible, y'all. Hi-Fi Rush, the game that nobody knew about and was released a few weeks ago, may end up being not only on some folks' Game of the Year lists, but it might just end up on some accessibility Game of the Year list as well. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Steve Saylor, an accessibility advocate and consultant on the video game industry, and I'm also blind. And if you're wondering how I can play video games if I'm blind, click here or in the link in the description down below to see exactly what I see when playing video games. Also, while you're down there, click the like and subscribe button. It would really help make this channel grow. We were actually kind of shocked when Tango Gameworks announced and released the same day Hi-Fi Rush during Xbox's Developer Direct a few weeks ago. It looked dope AF. With a cool Saturday morning cartoon, rhythm-based fighting gameplay, and a robotic cat named 808. But surprisingly, it is really fun and also accessible in some areas. In an effort to give you kind of the bad news first before getting into the good news, this game is missing some key areas for some disabilities though, mostly for blind and low vision. In combat, there is actually a lot that is helpful that also benefits motor disabled players as well, such as the ability to have the camera auto-target an enemy, or an auto-action mode which will automatically select movements and controls to attack enemies as long as you're hitting any of the attack buttons to the beat. But as far as navigating the world as you 3D platform your way through a level, there is no navigational assistance, no ledge guard protection if you fall off a ledge or miss a jump, or if you're having to dodge heavy machinery. The game is really fast at respawning you within less than 2 seconds back just before you fell off. However, it does take a tiny bit of health with it. For the most part, the game is linear and has a golden path as to where to go, but it's a shame that there is a ton of fun for blind players in combat, but if you can't navigate through those areas, that frustration will outweigh the fun parts of the game that is blind accessible. Now, where I think this game shines is actually in regards to what it offers deaf and hard of hearing players and motor disabled players. For motor disabled players, you could remap on both controller and mouse and keyboard for PC. It also has the aforementioned auto-target camera and auto-action mode, which is honestly actually a really neat feature I hadn't seen before. It takes away the need to be able to pull off super fast combos and just lets the player focus on being on beat. It also means that you don't have to chain light attacks and heavy attacks at the same time. You can just hit one attack button, a dodge button, and a companion button that you can just tap once and the companion will do its own thing. It's not perfect, mind you, because you still have to be able to stay on beat, but the game doesn't punish you if you can't either. Staying on beat gives you extra bonus points, it gives you a score at the end of each combat section, but that's about it. It doesn't block you from moving forward or losing in combat. There are also rhythm mini-games that happen throughout the game, to which there is a single button option, where as long as you can be on the beat, you can just hit X, which is usually your light attack button. Think of like a QuickTime event where you're in a cinematic and you have to hit different buttons at specific times to complete the QuickTime event. With this option, instead of multiple buttons, it's just one, and that's pretty cool. So basically, even if your motor skills aren't precise, you can still have fun and progress throughout the game. For deaf and hard of hearing players, this is where I think Hi-Fi Rush might be in accessible Game of the Year conversations. In a game where it relies heavily on sound to complete, the challenge becomes, how do you make it accessible to those who can't hear the beat in the first place? Well, it all comes down to intentional accessibility for everyone type of design. Okay, so let's think of this as if we were in the brainstorming meeting so we can highlight the game's features fully. So the game has to rely on rhythm, right? And it needs audio to be able to help you stay on rhythm. So you have to have stuff visualized on the screen to show that rhythm so you don't have to rely just on audio. So let's add a rhythm assist bar that you can push a button on the controller at any time to turn it on or off, which has a pulsating metronome that pulsates to the center of the screen to a cat icon to let you know what the proper beat should be. It also will show DDR style whether you miss or okay, good or perfect at hitting that beat. That's available right at the very beginning of the game and available at any time. So let's maybe take this a little bit further. Could we also maybe integrate some of the narrative into this? Sure. So let's add a story element that because the entire game you're playing through Chai's perspective and his ability is that he is always on beat, he is in the rhythm pocket. So every room, every corner, every environment, and even things on the walls will pulsate to the same beat so that no matter where you look, you're always in sync. Also, let's just add a robotic cat companion that is the same cat in the rhythm assist bar that is always hovering by Chai's head that pulsates a circular light. And what I love about this is that the cat is named 808. 808! That's attention to detail. If you're not a music fan, 808 refers to a rhythm generator machine from the 80s that a lot of rap artists, musicians, and producers use even today. Guaranteed, you've heard a ton of songs that have that 808 beat, quote unquote. So that's just to keep folks who are deaf and hard of hearing just being in the rhythm and staying on beat. But the game also has subtitle options for all dialogue in the game, including speaker tags, background and background opacity. It also has context subtitles for any of the stylized signs or messages that appear in the environment that might be hard to see because of a special font used. The game also has what they call action voice subtitles that act as full captions for any of the environmental dialogue during the action moments in the game. Again, it is a well-rounded suite of options for deaf and hard hearing players to make sure that they will always be able to stay on rhythm, stay in the beat, even if they can't hear the music at all. And that's awesome. We love to see it. Overall, what I like most about these features is that you can tell a lot of them were thought of in the design, and that's great for A, a Japanese studio, and B, it is the second project where they worked on accessibility. I'm including Ghostwire Tokyo into that. I am putting Tango Gameworks on my list of developers to watch out for, and I think you should too when it comes to accessibility. I can't wait to see what they do next. Hi-Fi Rush may have been the surprise hit for everyone, and I'm glad that it's also a surprise accessible hit as well. I give Hi-Fi Rush for accessibility a 3 out of 5. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and while you're down there, click the subscribe button to help keep this channel growing. The more we can get people to watch these videos, the more I can be able to do more of these videos for you. So I'm really looking forward to be able to see how we can be able to grow this channel more in 2023. I'll see you in the next video. I'm proud of you, and as always, I remain obediently yours. Bye.